Hello, I am Mr. Garbage and this is video hashtag 561. In this video, I'll be reviewing the last episode of Winx Club Season 3, the Season 3 finale. That's it, guys, we're finally here. I think once we're finished reviewing Season 3, we're gonna have to do a full review of Season 3 and also the movie as well. I think I might do like a mini review within the Winx Club review of the movie as well. I hope you're all excited. Anyway, before we move on, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, from what I can see, it seems like we have 450 subscribers. I feel like this means so much to me. We only have 10 more subscribers to go until I reach 500. I am kind of nervous of reaching 500, but I can't wait at the same time as well. Like, I have no idea what will happen then. But thank you for those who have been following me. Anyway, let's get into reviewing this episode. Just so you know, in the last episode, Valtor just went full beast mode, and he also went avatar mode as well. He unleashed the spell of the elements and causing havoc across magics. Also, Bloom used her fairy dust to break the spell from the Agadar box, sending all the spells back to their homes. And also, Trix got arrested for working for Valtor. I hope we're all caught up. Anyway, let's get into reviewing this episode. Just so you know, in the last episode, Valtor just went full beast mode, and he also went avatar mode as well. He unleashed the spell of the elements and causing havoc across magics. Also, Bloom used her fairy dust to break the spell from the Agadar box, sending all the spells back to their homes. And also, Trix got arrested for working for Valtor. I hope we're all caught up. And just for that, Layla and Sora use a convergence to bring back the forest back to life. I really love seeing Flora and Layla using the convergence together. It's really fun. It's so amazing. I loved it. And this is why I prefer Layla in green than blue. Like, I get that people like the blue transformation on her, but when she wears the green one, she looks so cute together with Flora with her pink Enchantrix outfit. And it's so cool seeing like Flora and Layla using their powers together because Flora is a nature girly and Layla uses water powers. So together they could like. So basically, what I'm saying is like with Flora and Layla's powers together as Enchantrix girlies, they could save the entire forest. I feel like this puts, transformations such as Soulfix and, Tynix and Butterflix to shame. Like, who needs Soulfix and Butterflix when you have characters like Layla, Flora, and possibly Stella who could, like, save the entire forest? I also feel like their aesthetic is so great together because Layla is green and Flora is pink. But I also find it interesting that Layla has pink wings and Flora has green wings. It's an interesting pair in my opinion. But honestly, I feel like any pair would go well with each other. Like I wouldn't mind with Flora and Techna being together or Misa or Layla. So Layla and Flora bring back the forest, and while that happens, Misa uses her flute to call out the animals. This is a few times where Misa creates instruments. I wish Misa created more instruments. If Sailor Mercury can create a harp, why can't Misa? And then the next part of the scene, Bloom can still sense that Vato is still alive. She can sense his dragon fire. I mean, she's not wrong, because in the next part of the scene, Walter ambushes the specialist and kidnaps them. I mean, could you imagine Brandon's expression when he found out that Walter's still alive? Like, he just thought like the Winx defeated Walter, and now he's free, and like he's the first person to see Walter. If I was Brandon, I'd be scared. Walter only spared Helia's life so that Helia can be the messenger owl and spread the news to the girls. Even if this was a trap, the Winx need to save the specialists. I do find this weird. I find it weird that the season 3 finale is basically the specialist being damsel in distress. It just feels desperate. Like Walter is grasping at straws to get at the Winx. Like I feel like he's more focused on trying to defeat the Winx than rather than taking over his mission, which is destroying the whole universe. Which is I can't understand why the ancestral witches are kind of like mad at Valtor. Like why are you focusing your energy on these Winx girls when you could have defeated everything else? But I think Valtor needs to take out the threat, which is Bloom, his they're like the mortal enemy. Like they both share both dragon fire and like Bloom is in his way. I don't know. I just feel like it's cheap that the specialists become like some people who we should care about. Like at the end of the season 3, like I'm not gonna lie, I do like the specialists. Like I do think they make good boyfriends, but I feel like that's just only thing they're good about. Like they're just their boyfriends. They're nothing more. Like I know like I have my favorites. I know my favorites are like Timmy, Brandon, Helia, and um, Nabu. But even then, I feel they don't feel special of them for themselves. Like I would like a personality for them, like or having a storyline, a backstory, like something for them individually, like how they write Murta in Wings Club. And do you find this interesting though? Like the specialists are like different species as well. Like they're not like fairies or witches. They're their own kind of like species. And I do find it interesting that like fairies get paired with specialists who are completely different species, and it's a shame. Like I would have loved to see like male fairies, or female specialists, seeing that and seeing you know in this way of making relationships. I just find it really interesting. Like fairies and specialists are just default being in relationships. Like, why can't we see other types of pairings? Like, why can't we see elves and mermaids or witches and other goblins? I don't know. It's just something I've been thinking about recently. The Winx, Nabu, and Helia head over to the island of Andros. This is where Valtor said they need to be. They arrive and they demand Valtor to free their boyfriends. Anyway, this makes me want to like ship Nabi and Helia instead of Nabi and Riven. Nabi deserves to be shipped with better person than Riven. As they reach to the island, they also notice that Timmy is in a funnel. Techno tries to save Timmy, while the others are sent to their own boyfriends' locations. Techno uses a World Wide Web to stop Timmy from spinning in the funnel. I do feel like Techna's test kind of relates to her. I wonder if, this kind of inspired by, Techna being in the funnel as well. Remember in her Enchantrix episode. So this kind of feels like her repaying back to Timmy. Timmy is the one who saved her, and now she is saving him. And this makes me want to feel like if Techna is related to the element of air, or maybe if we could have like an air-based ferry, that would be cool. Or at least have a fairy that can match Stormy's powers. Because we don't really have a fairy about wind or air. Like I guess Flora kind of has like um, wind-based powers. Like uh, she did one wind-based spell in the earlier season 3, like when they were trying to look for Miss Farragonda. But I would like a proper wind-based fairy. Also, I wonder if I could relate Red Fountain with Techno. Like Red Fountain is like they use like techno magic gadgets and all that, and I wonder if like Techno could be related with that. It just makes me think like if Techno was a character in Fate the Wing Saga. I can't imagine her being a specialist, but I also can't see her as like an air fairy as well. Because one of the elements is air. Like I think I forgot who it is. Beatrix. She uses. Her element is air, and she uses electricity powers. So this makes me think like Techno could possibly have air-based elements. It's just an idea that I just had. In the next part of the scene, Stella is in a tunnel and she notices that Brandon is being hanged and some gush of water is heading right to them. Stella uses a enchanted sun shield to barricade her and Brandon from the water. I mean, not gonna lie, Brandon looked hot, but anyway, he's always hot. Also, this strangely enough reminds me of a situation that happened in season 2. Remember when like Stella and Brandon fell into that river, that cave, when they were looking for the pixies? Maybe this test relates to Stella. And Brandon has been a good boyfriend to her. Of course, Stella's going to repay back to him. I feel like Techna and Stella both had good boyfriends, and I kind of understand from their point of view they're going to save their loved ones. I mean, not sure I'd say the same thing for the other two, but oh well. Also, this makes me think I wish there was a water fairy. I know Layla does water, but like she barely does anything to do with water. Like her main power tends to be like morphics or plasma. Like she barely does anything to do with like actual like water. So I would wish like there was a fairy that based on water. That would be cool. Like I'm pretty sure there are like background fairies that who control water as well. I'm pretty sure that Francine is a fairy of water, at least from what I've heard. And also this helps me like makes me think like could I connect Cloud Tower with Stella? I don't know. I can't help but headcanon. Like, I know that Murta is like a trans fairy. Like, she turned from witch to a fairy. Someone put a headcanon on Stella being a witch. That would be so cool. And I remember, like, in season 2, when they were, like, going to Cloud Tower, and she would have these, like, they would have these images of Stella in her witch outfits. She would look cute in all of them. And let's be honest, Stella has had witchy moments before, like especially in season 1. Remember in the spelled episode where she like dished out everyone for their fashion clothes? That was epic. Also, we have had that moment where like Darcy was pretending to be Stella. Do you remember that? And as a kid, I always felt like Stella was the evil one of the Winx if they were like the evil ones. But I do understand, like, you don't have to be evil when you're being a witch. So, I have thought better. But this makes me want to have, like, Specialist Techna and a witch Stella. In the next part of the scene, we see that Riven is turned into a statue, and Misa uses her fairy tools to break free Riven. It seems like Riven isn't the only one is in statue form. I feel like I recognize some other people being in statue form. Like this never gets explained. I wasn't also that sad about Riven becoming a statue, being that it's Riven. Like I was sad with Tammy and Brandon, but not with Riven or Sky. If I was Misa, I would be like, yeah, time to move on. Let's forget about him. Like Riven doesn't deserve any emotion like Timmy or Brandon do. I feel like Timmy and Brandon earn the emotional responses. Riven doesn't even earn emotional response. Like, what can I say about this season? Like, like including Timmy, Brandon, and Riven. Like inclusion in this season. Like Brandon helped Stella from like turning her into a beast. Like he helped with her coming out of like being a beast, and Timmy helped save Techno from the Mega Dimension. Riven basically been a brat for season 3. Like I'm not just going to include like the things he said in like um in that Stella's Solaria episode. He was jerking in other episodes too. Like remember trying to free Sky from Heraklion, and Riven was kind of rude to Bloom. So no, Riven doesn't get like an emotional payoff with this. And I can't be mad at Sky. Like I know he did shitty things, like making Bloom like he did 2 time Bloom, but that was like in season 1. Like in season 3, like he was like put under a spell, like he was in trouble. So I'm less prickly towards him. Anyway, this somehow makes me connect Misa with Earth, and I wish what there was like Earth Fairy. I don't think we do have any like Earth-based powers. Like, I kind of think like Flora, but she mainly does plants. But like, I really want like someone who controls like buildings or mountains or like sandstorms. That would be awesome. I think in later season, like in season 6, Daphne kind of uses Earth-based powers, but like she doesn't do anything impressive with that. Like, give me something that Toph can do in Avatar: The Last Airbender. I also can't connect how like Magix is connected with Misa. Like, I can connect a Red Fountain with Techno. I can connect Cloud Tower with Stella. I mean, I can't connect magics with Misa. Like, as an individual, no. As a collective with her friends, yes, because they hang around in magics. But her individually, like, no, I can't connect her with magics. But this does make me think Misa wearing like city-based outfits that would look cute on her. I know that Stella's a fashionista, but I do think that Misa is the most fashionable one out of the group. Like she has the best clothes. Also, I just want to add this meme. Timmy gets stuck in a funnel. No. Brandon gets hanged. No. Raven turns into a statue. Woohoo. For the next scene, it's Bloom's turn. She sees that Sky is getting burnt alive and she finds him on the ground. She uses her fires to find Sky. And I think she uses her powers to distinguish the fire. I mean, at least her test makes sense since it's fire. Like, she's a fire girly, so she's able to deal with fire. In the next part of the scene, Flora, Layla, Nabu, and Helia, they all find cells, and they found the specialists in the cells. They even see Timmy. I like that Helia points out that they've seen Timmy in the surface. It's either that one is an imposter or the one in the cell is an imposter. Also, this bit makes me want to ship Nabi and Helia together. Aesthetically, they look cute together. And as for Flora and Layla, they also look cute together. They just have nice aesthetic together. I feel like Nabu is kind of like an Indian coded, and I think Helia is like Japanese coded, and I think Layla. If I had to say like, if she's like a Caribbean, I think she could be Caribbean, or maybe she's Madagascan. I'm not sure. I think people. I have to say, like, she could be um from Caribbean, or like, I know she's not based on like the Earth, because she's in Andros. But when I think of Andros, like the island, um, I'm just thinking of like places on Earth where they're like mostly black people, and I think of Madagascar, like it's like an island, isn't it? Surrounded by water, and that's the idea I think of her. Flora, I think she might be Hispanic. I don't know if she's Mexican or uh, Colombian. I'm not too sure, but I think she might be Latina. I think you can have an idea of yourself, like where they are based. Um, I'm just guessing she might be somewhere in the Latino area. Let me know what you think. But I just think they just look cute together. But like, you can ship them however you want. Like, when it comes to Winx Club and the shipping, like, I really don't mind who you ship. Like, I think anyone could go like however you feel like. It just based on how you think, and I think like they just look cute together. Also, I want to state that I'm watching the Focus one, and I have watched the Nick and the Ray version of this. I'm so glad they got rid of that W thing. I don't know what that is. I always grew up with the Focus one, and like I've always seen like this one always like, and I then at times when I watch like Ray of Nick, like the first time I watched the Ray one and watching the season 3 finale, I just didn't like how it was. There was just W spinning, and then the either Techna, Stella, Musa, and Bloom, they would just say their name. I don't know why. I thought it was random. I thought it was jarring. It just didn't look good. I really hated it. It's just I hated it. It was not great at all. Like, could you imagine like you're sitting through like a serious story, like Techno, Stella, and Rip Musa and Bloom, they're getting beaten up by the fake specialists, and then you had this bit like a W, and then they're just saying their name. It just seems comical. Like it doesn't. It's not great for at all. Like, could someone in the comments please explain to me why Ray ever did this? Like, why did you have this W thing? It's so stupid. Anyway, it turns out that Techno was dealing with a fake Timmy, and he turns into a air elemental. He looks so cool. I know he's supposed to be a villain and like he's supposed to be a bad guy, but I can't help it. He looks so cool and hot. Yes, I find him attractive. And I find him cute with his elemental like abilities. It's like all whitish blue color, and he can use wind-based spells or attacks. I mean, what can I say? He is an attractive boy right here. This makes me wish like the specialists could have their own powers. I know they're like supposed to have like lightsabers. This they're not supposed to have powers, but I wish they did. Like it would make them like equally as I feel like they would be useful when they're fighting alongside the like fairies and witches. Like if they can't shoot out magic with their hands, they can use weapons to shoot out magic. Like maybe use relics, or maybe using their swords or guns. Using that as a weapon. I think like in season 6, I think they use like a new sort of weapons, and they use like elements out of it. I think that's like a cool idea that they brought up in season 6. I hate this season, but that's a cool idea. And I can totally see like pairing each main specialist with the power. Like Sky, I can see him with water powers because he's mostly blue, so I guess I associate water with him. And Brandon, I would associate him with plants or earth because his color is green, and I think I don't know why I feel like I kind of compare him to Flora, and he's like a male Flora, and I was thinking he can have like plant-based powers. For Riven, I think he could have firepower. I don't know why. I think it's his hair. Like his hair kind of gives me like flame vibes, and I just think he would look so cool with fire abilities. I can totally see like Timmy having light or lightning based powers. Like I know his color is yellow, so I associate that with light. But also, I think there was one point like in season one, he used like a gadget to shine something. As I don't know why, so that's why I think he could use light powers. But maybe because I also associate him with electricity because Pikachu is yellow and he uses electricity, and Techno she uses electricity. Maybe to connect him with that. Helia, I can imagine him having wind-based powers. I don't know why. I just associate him with his long hair blowing in the wind, and like, I think he would suit. And I know he had like Spider-Man strings, but I somehow can imagine like he because he's Japanese, he could basically use weapons that are based in Japanese, um, shows. I'm just thinking of a lot of anime shows that I've watched, and they would use like non-traditional weapons, like using fan-based, like a fan blade. That would look cool for Helia. And Nabi is obviously magic. He has the magic staff. He's totally fine with his abilities. Stella then finds out that she was dealing with a fake Brandon. And then Brandon turns into a water elemental and blasts Stella with water. He looks really hot in this as well. He does kind of look like Timmy though. It's because Timmy and Brandon they have similar hairstyle. I know like Brandon is a bit longer, but still it looks too similar. But I don't mind. Like both Timmy and Brandon's elementals, they look really hot. I do find it interesting that Brandon's elemental is green, like water isn't green, and I think it's interesting like his one is like matching his color, like it's green, but everyone else's elemental don't match their colors. Maybe if his one was more darker blue, I would have appreciated it more, just so it to tie in with his water powers. I just think these things look super cool. Misa then finds out that she was dealing with a fake Raven. He also looks cool as an Earth Elemental. And at least he looks different compared to like Timmy and Brandon. And I think it's because like his arms and legs are bigger. I think I would appreciate it if like Timmy or Brandon look different because they both have the same body shape. Maybe if Timmy could have some wings, he's the air one, so why not give him wings? I can't say though that Raven looks hot. In my personal opinion, like I would have loved it in like if he did look different. I just have a certain taste, and he wouldn't be my pick. And Bloom then finds out that she was dealing with a face guy, and he turns out to be a fire elemental. He looks so cool. I mean, he is hot. I mean, cool and hot. He looks hot, and he is hot. Like, I mean, he is fire, but he's also hot. Like, oh my god. I like that he's in red, cool, and there's like orange, yellow aura around him. I don't think the other guys have like any like other color around them. I feel like Sky is the only one who has like two colors. And then he has a sword as well. I think that's super cool. He uses his sword as like a fire weapon. I think the others should have had a weapon. Like maybe Timmy could have like a air gun or something, or maybe Brandon could have like a two-bladed water weapon, or maybe like a Riven could have had like a ball, like a chain or something. That would have been so cool. I'm so obsessed with these. I wish there was like a spin-off version of the specialist. Like if there's a spin-off version of Pixies, why not have like a spin-off for the specialist? This would be so cool. Like let them have powers. I'm just thinking of other cartoons like Miraculous or other boy based like like magical girl shows, but like magical boy shows. I'm thinking of like those sort of shows, and that would be so cool for like Winx Club, and having these specialists be one of them. It will be so fun. I think the male Winx the people who are watching these shows who are male, they would have loved this, and I think that would be so cool. Like I understand it's for like most audiences are going to be girls and they're going to get like their girl toys, and that's fine, and we should get whatever we want. And I think there are like guys who just want to have like specialist toys. That would be so fun. Let me have all of these. I'm just obsessed. However, Bloom figures out something. Um, she needs to defeat the person who's controlling these elementals. So, with her power, she uses it to defeat Valtor from a different location. I do find it cool that, like, Bloom from where she's standing, she can defeat Valtor, like, wherever she is, and uses her dragon to, like, chase Valtor down. By doing that, the elementals vanish. So in the next scene, Valta, is getting hit, and he's laying on his on the ground by his throne. And while he's unconscious, the ancestral witches call back to him. They don't seem pleased about Valta's failures. Like I said this before, they don't seem to be pleased like that Valtor's um is just fucking things up in the last few episodes. He's supposed to taking spells, ruling over every world, but he's wasting his precious time on these Winx girls. In the ancestral witch's eyes, it seems like Valtor's wasting their time. Like they want total destruction. So anyway, they're going to take away his wizard body, and now they're gonna leave him with a beast mode. To me, I think that's like a sign of like Valtor being half dead. Like when I think of the ancestral witches taking away his wizard appearance, I just think of it as like an allegory for death. So what do I think of Valtor's beast form? I mean, he does look cool and he does look threatening and ferocious. He's definitely demonic. But I'm not like scared of him, but I'm more like, intrigued by him. But he does look cool. He looks like if Jet Ray and Humongousaur merged from Ben 10. But does that mean he's powerful? What is he gonna do with this form? Does he have powers? Is it just dragon fire? The ancestral witches did want total destruction, so maybe he's going to use his dragon fire to destroy everything. I don't know. Because he no longer has other spells, and I think he called back the spell of the elements. Will he use that? The Wings try to attack Valtor. They can do all they can, but they can't defeat him. Apparently, as a beast, Valtor is much stronger than he was as a wizard. But why can't they use the full force of the convergence to defeat Valtor? Like go all out. Like the Wings have earned Enchantix for a reason. It's supposed to be stronger than Winx, the magic Winx. But it seems like in most episodes of these last three of season three, it seems like the Enchantrix is being nerfed. I think Unicorn of War mentioned it. I don't understand why they can't just defeat Volta with the Enchantrix. It's supposed to be the strongest form. In the next part of the scene, with Bloom's spirit, she enters Valtor's body. She says it's her power of the dragonfire, but we know like this is kind of an allegory for her like spirit. So like a soul or something. It's basically her life force. And while she enters Valtor's body, she wants to put out Valtor's dragonfire once and for all. It's a unique trick she learned in Pyros. This is probably the only time she ever does this, or anyone else. Like, could you imagine she is doing this with other villains? I mean, Gleam has no other choice but to take Valtor out. She wants to, like, finally take Valtor out with her Dragonfire. And Valtor tries his desperate attempts to convince her not to take him out. He tries to persuade that Bloom and Valtor could join together to defeat ancestral witches so that, Bloom can finally find her birth parents. But honestly, like, Bloom doesn't need Valtor's help. And, it's kind of too late. It's time for Bloom to, like, use her fairy dust and finish Valtor for good. And so be it, she uses her fairy dust and Valtor's no more. And with that, the flame returns back to Bloom's body, and she's alive again. And it was almost feel like that Sky and Stella were crying out for Bloom because they thought they almost lost her. I would say that Valtor's defeat was grand. I just don't think it's as grand as defeats with Trix in season one or Lord Darker in season two. Anyway, I guess this is it. The Winx and Bloom have done it. They finally managed to defeat Valtor. Even the Company of Light couldn't able to defeat him. And I guess this means that Bloom is ready to take on the ancestral witches and find her birth parents. And the episode and the season ends with the fireworks displaying Oratel and Marion in the sky. I especially like the Focus ending with the Feels Like Magic song. It's the song that started this all, and it's the song that ends it all. It's just perfect. And I guess that's it for me. I've reviewed the last episode of season 3. But that's not over for me for Winx Club Season 3. I still have to do a full review of Winx Club Season 3 alongside the movie. I think it's called Magical Adventure. But of course, I'm gonna make like a mini review on that, not like a full review. It's just like a tag along with the main review. And I've got like a couple of shorts that is in season 3 that I still need to do. I haven't done a full Winx Club review in like 11 months. I did like the season 2 review like 11 months ago. So yeah, this took a long time, which I'm not too fussed about because I did have other things going on. So that is why it did take long. And I guess this is it for me. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and have a lovely day.